Truth, your go-to for all things home. This is Home Answers Radio, presented by JeffBuysYourHouse.com and by Center Guard Plumbing. Once again, here's Roger Piper.
Your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio.
Hi, welcome to Home Answers. I'm Roger Piper. The show is all about your home, inside and outside. Well, today we're going to be talking about keeping it comfort inside. And we got Mark Portawisi from On the Mark Heating and Air. Mark, thanks for being here. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, what I really like about Mark is that with this company, he's been doing it for 17 years. He's local, good local business, and you're a tech.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's like those people know how to run a business. I mean, you start at that point to where you're with the product, you're seeing it, you see everything. And then you just kept moving up and doing it, and that's to be commended.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. We love those local businesses, and especially people that, you know, go from the ground up, because those are the people that really know what's going on. You got 17 years of experience doing that. And tell us about On the Mark a little bit. Tell us about all of the things that you do as an HVAC company. And one thing is that you're an HVAC company. There's not a plumbing division or an electrical division or anything like that.
No plumbing, no electrical. We do get asked about it a lot. We don't even do duct cleaning. We refer those things out. We have great partners that we partner with, you know, that we trust if you need somebody. But I wanted to focus just on heating and air. There's so much to do out there just in HVAC, and I wanted to get really great at just doing that one thing right now. So we focus on just simply doing your furnace, your air conditioner, your heat pump, indoor air quality, anything to do with your ductwork. That's what we hyper focus on.
Yep, and that's good because you and your techs can specialize on that. Mm-hmm. And tell us about brands when it comes to that, because a lot of people will say, hey, I've got a Rheem, I've got a Carrier. I've always in talking to people and talking to people that I know as well, they've always said, you know what, it's kind of like windows. You can buy the best window, you can buy a cheaper window. Bottom line is installation.
Yes.
And there's only like 3 companies that make water heaters now. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm guessing we got the same kind of consolidation going on in HVAC, right?
Very much so. I mean, there's 3 compressor manufacturers. A lot of people make the same capacitors that go into all these units and stuff. All of our branding on our shirts, our trucks, you will not see a brand. We don't represent any brand on purpose. It is us. We are the reason a system might last a long time or break, you know, like it's On the Mark brand, and that's what we focus on. So there is no better brand than anything else. Now, years ago, I don't think that was true. There was a clear quality difference between, you know, a Carrier and a Lennox or something. You can see the difference between them, but that was 15, 20 years ago. Today, they're all essentially the same. And again, what you're paying for is the quality of installation and the design that you're going to get.
Yeah, and the consultation when it comes to what you need for your house. That's so important because people will talk about the load on this, and they get different opinions from different people. You really, you know, it isn't just the equipment. You got to understand the house and what the person wants and needs. Like, you know, the perennial thing in Chicagoland is the upstairs that's hot.
Yeah.
You know, the downstairs is just right and the upstairs is boiling.
Right.
And then, you know, vice versa, depending on the season. And, you know, that comes down most of the time to the person that understands the ductwork and person that understands the system. Yep. And I think that's overlooked a lot. You know, I have this system, so I'm going to replace it with this system.
Right.
Without, you know, and, you know, you told me 80% of the time it's not right.
We downsize most people's system, and they're more comfortable, and it's more efficient. It saves them energy. Most times we will end up doing that. It's the most commonly overlooked thing. We do manual J load calculations on every house we install a system on, and we will go around, measure your entire house, and then we take that load, then we look at your ductwork, and if those 2 things match, we got a perfect pairing, and that's the size equipment you would be getting. Now, we will not do a job if it's too big or too small for your house, because ultimately it comes back to us to be putting this in the right way for you. And that's the same, you know, when a customer is shopping for equipment, That load calculation is not a secret. We will show you. We show you how we do it. We show you the software, and everybody that you have in your house should show you the exact same thing.
Yeah, Mark, if somebody is having a problem with the uneven heating and cooling, would you guys come out and do load calculations for them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and there's usually a lot more going on besides that as well, but we will do a full assessment. It's the most common thing we get usually in the beginning of the season. May, June is my upstairs is substantially hotter than my first floor. Now, there's so many reasons for that to be the case, but we come out with a technician, they plug into your system, they get a bunch of diagnostics so we can understand what's going on with your home.
Yeah, because if you're having that problem, you may need some new equipment or some adjusting and things like that. Yeah. And the fact that you care so much about that end result, is to make it comfortable and make it what you want.
Yeah,
that's important. A lot of people won't do that.
Well, my goal is to have a system that you love so much that you tell friends, family, and neighbors about. Right.
Right.
If you don't tell someone about us, that kind of defeats the purpose. We want to keep the ball rolling here, and that's by doing good quality work that lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm. So installation and doing the entire process, going through that's number one, right? Mm-hmm. Number one over what equipment that you pick and things like that. When it comes to maintenance, what do you recommend on an HVAC system for maintenance, cleaning, that kind of thing? What's your recommendation?
At least once a year for your AC, once a year for your furnace. So we usually see our customers 2 times within a season to make sure that system's clean, it's safe, it's reliable. That's always what we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do that. What time of year do you recommend that they do that?
So cooling's kind of the only time where we have to get above like 65, 70 degrees is ideal. Once we get above that temperature, we can get a good quality test in your air conditioner. Heating, as long as it's once every 12 months or so, it's fine. We'll do it around that time. Mm-hmm. No need to get maintenance right before heating season. Go ahead and turn your system on. It's totally fine to do. Now, if you have a problem, we'll get out to you a little bit quicker. But usually maintenance, as long as it's every 12 months on your heating system, you're going to be fine. Okay, great. Good tips there. We're talking to Mark Portawisi, and he is with On the Mark Heating and Air, and you're a good local Chicagoland company. You can call them at 847-630-9562, 847-630-9562, and go to the web. Check out the reviews. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of reviews on there, so you're doing something right. Thank you. If you have reviews, that's one thing. If you have a lot of reviews, that means something's going on. And, there's always going to be some bad ones in there. But, I mean, if you get a lot of reviews, that means people have a little passion about talking to you. OnTheMarkHVAC.com is the website, and I recommend you go check that out. Some things that are going on, some trends, what's new in the industry, or what is hot right now? Right now, the big talk's about heat pumps. Heat pumps, tax credits, ComEd rebates, those are the biggest topics right now. Okay. For somebody that doesn't, they just have a regular HVAC system and they've never heard of a heat pump. Mm-hmm. Tell us what it is. All a heat pump is essentially, instead of having an air conditioner outside, you have what's called a heat pump. And a heat pump is an air conditioner as well. But in addition to that, it can run backwards and it can heat. Okay. Yeah. And so what does it replace? So it just replaces your air conditioner. So there are some cities that like to go all electric, and when they do that, they end up replacing their furnace and their air conditioner and turn everything into a heat pump. That means you can heat your house year-round only using electricity. Okay. Mm-hmm. We tend to do what's called hybrid systems, so where you still have a gas-fired furnace, and instead of your AC outside, you get what's called a heat pump. It can still cool, and then in addition to that, you can now use electricity to heat your home. Okay. And then when it gets really cold, your gas furnace takes over. All right, that's an interesting. I've never heard of anybody doing a hybrid, but that does make sense. And a lot of places in the country are going all electric with the green thing, and that can be expensive when you're running a system like that all the time. We have a few customers that want it, but they will admit that, and we can prove this too, that it's more expensive to just simply run that system that way. Yep. But they just want to do it because they want to be green, which is fine, but you will pay more to run your system. If you want to, what's the best time to look at possibly doing a heat pump? Is when you need a whole new system? Yeah, when you need a whole new system, because that unlocks the credits and the rebates that are available right now. And tell us about those. So currently, ComEd has up to a $2,000 rebate as long as you have ComEd for your electrical company. You get $2,000. And then through the end of 2025, there's a $2,600 tax credit. between a furnace and a heat pump that you can get.
Okay.
That is ending this year.
Yeah, and nobody knows if it'll be extended or anything, or
As of right now, it's ended. So it could be extended, but at the moment, it's going to be done at the end of this year.
what about what's this inverter technology? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so there's 3 different technologies you can get on any furnace or air conditioner. There's a single stage, which just means it's on or off.
Right.
That can create a lot of uncomfortable spaces in your home. The next one is a 2-stage, where it has the off, low, and high. And then the next one's inverter. Inverter will become the normal in our industry. It's already been here a long time, but this drive from every single manufacturer is to push inverters into everything. The reason being is because it's able to adapt. So it's just like the speedometer car. It can be from 0 to 100, right? And a single stage is either 0 or 100. That's all it can do. Where the inverter can fluctuate and go up and down. So it accommodates to the weather outside, your personal preferences in the home to really give you that dialed-in comfort.
So instead of having where like you got a single stage where it's on or it's off, and then you got a 2-stage where it's on but low or it's on and higher.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
This one goes in between that.
Yeah, it's essentially like the stove, the knob on your gas stove. How much heat do you need right now? And it's the same for cooling. How much cooling do you need right now? And that ends up translating to energy savings, comfort, noise levels are greatly reduced, and also actually helps that upstairs, downstairs imbalance that we've been talking about.
Yep. Mark, if you're looking at having a problem with your HVAC system, if you're wondering how to get rid of that lousy upper floor problem, give Mark and his company a call. Good local business, obviously very smart. Mark started as a tech and moved his way up, and I'll tell you, those are the kind of people that you really want to have in your home and talk to. The number is 847-630-9562, 847-630-9562. Check out the website, onthemarkhvac.com. Mark, a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Home Answers on AM 560, The Answer.